All right. So somebody yesterday sent me this clip where Sneako is announcing his departure from the Red Pill. And I'm curious about it. I was debating on making it a segment. Then somebody sent me a video from like Destiny's alternative channel, Late Night, where he kind of reviews some more content from Sneako. You know, so I'm like, you know what? Let's make it a segment. Let's just steal the content. But I'll react to it, so it won't be theft. So let's just start off with this this thing here.
IRL streaming is what I want to do now. There's only so long. You can only do this for so long. Like, how much can you really talk about Neon dating coach? That's hilarious. But yeah, it's like it's just so much more fun. I can't even lie. And let's be honest, the Red Pill is dying. It's over.
TZ Menace super chatted $4.99. Can you sing me happy birthday, Papa? Also, I love the content and your podcast with Mama Gut.
Well, thank you. That podcast is the Rob and Dan podcast. The link is in the description. It's pretty good. I'll do it after the segment. Remind me, okay?
Because like there was a lot of hype around this, like, oh, the Matrix, bro. How do we make it out? And then like
I like how he mocks it. That's the mocking voice he uses.
There's this excitement, there's hype around it, and I got in at the right time, hit the wave at the right time. You know, I was Red Pill raging when the Red Pill was blowing up, so it was perfect. You know, screaming at a camera, "Wake up! Wake up!" And then now, like, okay, you know, live life now. Can't be screaming at a camera about Satan every single day. We are going to talk about the transgender because the Streamy Awards was yesterday. I was watching the IRL.
All right, yeah. So listen, and of course, I don't have as much charitability left for Sneako. I mean, he's exhausted that, you know, over and over again. But I feel like we predicted this, right? And I'm not even saying that this prediction was particularly good. I mean, this was like predicting it was going to rain when it's already raining. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, that to me just sounds like he's saying that he was grifting from the start, that he was lying from the start, that he was sensationalizing from the start because he knew that it gave him a lot of money. And we've been saying for a long time now, Sneako is not particularly intelligent. I think that from the start, even when people loved his content, he was just kind of looking at other people saying something. He was like, I like that. I'm going to make my content on that. Almost riding a wave. It was like an aesthetic to him to try to be like the enlightened child, the really smart 12-year-old. And then he gave that up to just do Red Pill, which is just screaming and yelling and saying that everything's a conspiracy and going back and forth. And you know, now it's over. And now he's going to do other stuff. He's going to go try to tap into whatever other market he feels like is the biggest market. I imagine that's more of this gravitation towards like more Kai Cenat content, since that, you know, they're blowing up. What is that, Zoomer TikTok? I don't know. A little beyond me as a boomer myself. But it kind of just seems like he's going to continuously try to tap other markets, and then at some point he's going to go, hey guys, I'm a smart guy again, look at me, blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden we're all going to go, oh my god, like he's not a fucking idiot anymore, like he was just lost and we're going to give him charity and be like, oh no, he just lost his way. But he didn't. He intentionally took that path, you know what I mean? He intentionally went down the wrong path to extort as much money out of this movement as possible, to tell a bunch of young men that they are, you know, having whatever experience when they are, but not that he cares. He just wants to make as much money off of people as possible. And now he's going to move on to something else that he feels like is going to be financially beneficial. I would have more charity if what he expressed was different. You know, I think that there is, of course... Oh, I'm fucking dead. This is my hardcore runs over. Well, fuck my mom's balls. I would have been more empathetic if he had just said, hey guys, I'm going to kind of change my content because it seems more exciting. I'm fucking so dead. Holy shit. That would have been fine. I would have been fine with that. I mean, that's normal. That's like a human experience to have, right? To just shift your content because, you know, you're moving on. All right. Well, this is the end of my run. Jesus Christ. But that's not what he's doing. He's sitting here and he knows what he's doing. I do. I'm so sorry. It's 5 hours down the drain. He knows what he's doing. I don't think that it's just a boredom thing. I think he has a very heavy money focus. So let's move on to the next thing.
I just want to have a home. I don't want to live in a mosque. Get off of my...
Jesus. You're bamboozled that you
Whoa, he doesn't want to live in... I thought he was a religious guy now.
built an audience full of like moral indignation and moral condemnation. That's the most obvious thing ever.
This guy sounds sick.
IRL streaming is what I want to do now.
Hey, what's up, Kate?
There's only so long. You can only do this for so
Oh,
long.
he watched it anyway.
Like, how much can you really talk about Neon Dating Coach? That's hilarious. But yeah, it's like it's just so much more fun. I can't even lie. And let's be honest, the red pill is dying. It's over. It's over because like there was a lot of hype around this, like, oh, the Matrix.
You know, in all honesty, I think that there are multiple reasons why it's over. I think the biggest reason is because Andrew Tate got arrested. I mean, let's be honest. That's like probably the #1 reason. People can chalk it up to a conspiracy all they want, but when you have him saying he did the things that he is being accused of, it's a very strong case. So you see him that he got arrested. I think that that's a majority of it. And then outside of that, I think that there's something to be said about, like, there was some positive impact. Like, I know Destiny went into some of the more online red pill spaces, which are really where the red pill's the biggest. And I think he's done a good job making Fresh and Fit look stupid as fuck. The whatever podcast people looking really dumb. I think that's part of it. And I think that Ab and Preach have had a pretty big, perspective on that as well. I'd like to think I had an impact, but my channel isn't anywhere, close to any type of social anything. I have no real impact on the stratosphere anymore. It is what it is. So I'd say that it's probably those things in order. Mostly Andrew Tate, getting arrested, and then I think that in the online spaces that Destiny especially, and then even Ab and Preach, because they're very large manosphere adjacent, and that's not a bad thing necessarily, who speak negatively of the disrespect of the manosphere. So,
bro, how do we make it out? And then like there's this excitement, there's hype around it, and I got in at the right time, hit the wave at the right time. I was red pill raging when the red pill was blowing up, so it was perfect. Screaming at a camera, wake up, wake up! And then now, like, okay, live life now. Can't be screaming at a camera about Satan every single day. We were going to talk about the transgender because the streaming awards yesterday.
Oh, this guy is blasting.
I shouldn't have streamed that live. I want to react to that. They did diss me, and there was, you see, who won Breakout Creator of the Year. So there are bits and pieces to talk about, but it's like,
who won Breakout Creator of the Year?
There's so much you can say about the red pill, right?
Who won Breakout the Creator of the Year? I don't know. I can't even hear what the guy's saying. What the fuck's the matter with you? Who won Breakout Creator for streamings? Dylan Mulvaney. That's just weird. That one's just bizarre. I swear to God, I undid the queue. Okay. That's just weird. Why would listen, Dylan Mulvaney's fine. I have no problem with Dylan Mulvaney. They're getting bullied on the internet. God bless them, because they've been taking so much negative attention. Getting abused really on the internet, like constantly bullied and harassed. But why Breakout Streamer Award? Breakout Content Creator? I mean, just on her being bullied alone, she could get it. I'd do it. It's not bad. Sorry. But okay, cool. Good for them.
Get a girl with a low body count, don't watch porn, go to the gym. Boom, done. It's like, if you sum up most of, like, instead of repeating it, and that's when you guys kind of get off on just seeing people, like, owning, it's like when you're 14 and you watch Ben Shapiro owns libs.
No!
Oh, yeah!
A trans girl?
Ben Shapiro owns libs, and he goes, no. That was funny.
College girl, stupid bitch! Yeah! Yeah! It's like not even anything improving about it. It's just
yeah, that's all of Sneako's content, though, right? Like, let's be absolutely real. So Ben Shapiro would show up, and this is what a lot of conservatives do. And to Ben Shapiro's credit, he's a smart guy. He will engage with people. Like, he's talked to Anna Kasparian and Lex Friedman, and like, he's a smart guy. But the tactic of going to college campuses and then being more prepared for any topic you're going to talk about, and then talking to a bunch of young people and steamrolling them, and then choosing which clips to put up on your YouTube channel, that's not exactly a difficult thing. Just because you're more well-versed in a particular topic doesn't mean that you necessarily are right about the topic, right? And so that's the Ben Shapiro perspective. That's very similar to somebody who does on-the-street type of content and goes out for 5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then they make it into a 10-minute video. That's what Sneako used to do in his heyday. It's just having a narrative that you want to press and then setting up the stage, setting up the real world as your theater for that. And there's different ways to do that. You go talk to fucking idiot college students, because college students, they're not, like, progressives aren't necessarily wrong about anything that they talk about. But they don't know why the fuck they believe what they believe, and that's the biggest issue. Is they're just like, yeah, this is true, and it's like, why? I don't know, because I was told that. Right? There's no pushback. It's the same thing as like very conservative spheres. They have the same thing. Oh yeah, being gay is bad. Why? I don't know, because the Bible. I think the Bible said it. It's like, okay, there's no, they're told what to think, and they don't know why they think it, but because everybody in their community accepts it, they don't have any like level of intelligence or understanding about why the fuck that they think something is a thing, right? And so that's most of it. So that's pretty much that content.
WWE for fucking nerd incels.
Ooh.
It's so repetitive, bro. Red pill will never die. No, of course it will never die, dummy. But it's just the red pill is just the truth, you know. And it's just.
Oh, it's just the truth, baby. Just
you know what's really not red pilled? Talking about the red pill all day long, nonstop.
Wow.
Actually, being red pill, if you're talking about truth, is going and enjoying life, becoming better every single day, being around good people, having a good circle, enjoying the world.
Bro, you're around like rape apologists that say tell women that when they were sexually assaulted that it was their fault. What are you talking about being around good people? And what fucking dimension of the vast universe are we talking about?
Like that's the best thing you could do with your life. You know what's really fucking blue pilled and gay is just being a nerd who talks about red pill shit all day long. It's funny how religious texts will always say that being gay is bad. The gayest thing you could do with the internet, because there's so many possibilities, is argue with other nerds online about religion constantly.
I think that Sneako just realized that he's outclassed when he gets debated against, and he's just like, he got now debating is gay. Although maybe a little bit, you know what I mean? There might be a little bit of truth to that. It's kind of cringe, you know what I mean? You know what the gayest thing I think is? You know, no offense to gay people, this is a joke of course. Backing your car into your parking spot. Oh Jesus, what the hell is that about? You know what I mean? Grow up. Just park like a normal fucking person.
That's gayer than being at a gay pride parade. Well, this book, this Trinity.
Congrats on 700K, buddy.
The Crusades. You're gay. You're gay. I'm sorry. If you are spending more time because they're like, gay.
Bro, let me tell you something. If anything was gay, I'd be having a fucking soundboard. Hey, thank you so much for the 6 month. Small gut. Love all. I don't know what that is. Ocean Gang, love God. Incredible.
Go to hell. Well, you're going to go to hell because all you're doing is arguing for 4 hours straight with some nerds on Discord. You don't even know who that is. It's another dude. And you're falling asleep on Discord, debating the same talking points all day long.
True.
And you're still poor. And you still get no bitches. And you still couldn't, even if you're waiting until marriage. You still got nothing going on with your life. So what are you doing? That's the most blue pill shit, is just always talking about the same fucking things. We get it. Porn is bad. Haram! Don't do that. It's a sin. Trannies. Like, oh my God, we get it. Can I go outside now? You dissing the thing that made you famous? Like, I've been famous. I've been doing this for 10 years.
I've been
doing this for 10 years. And I think one of the new criticisms that I'm getting is like, Sneako is always like changing. What, I'm always trying to make different types of content? Like,
I mean, there's a difference between trying to make different types of content and changing you, like you at your like core of who you are. I almost feel bad for him. He's such a like loser. Disrespectful. I don't care, but there's no personality. Sneako doesn't have a personality. I feel bad for them in that capacity. His personality is what the internet says for him to do. That's pretty much all it boils down to. There's really nothing left except for like, oh, this is how I feel about this, that, and this. There's really not a lot going on there. I mean, it's unfortunate for him because I don't even think he knows where his own personality starts and ends. Because he's never had to really be alone with his own thoughts in a room. I mean, we talk about social media addiction. Biggest part about social media is constant need for stimulation, for some kind of mental stimulation. And you have Sneako, somebody who needs to be famous. When do you think he gets a moment to himself? He's just always going. I mean, that's it. That's his entire life, is just constant movement. And I just don't see that as being very good. I guarantee you that he's probably dealing with shit from that. He's dealing with he's just dealing with it. So,
what you put on the internet, especially if you've been doing it for as long as I have, what you put on the internet is not the definition of who you are. Some things are fun to do. I like doing different types of stuff. I like talking to different people. There's the Rumble audience, you guys, the Rumble audience wants me to be like this. Bro, I was at the mall talking about moving into a content creator house with some of my friends, and then people are messaging me like, Sneako, move into an Islamic learning house. Bro, what the f are you talking about?
I mean, you're sitting here talking about how you're fucking Islamic now, which was another, grift. So.
No, bro. Like, I'll go.
The only thoughts he's been alone with are fucking girls, am I right?
I'll go pray Jumu'ah. I'll read my Quran. I'll talk to scholars. Nigga,
I mean, Sneako really is the kid. Even him saying the N-word doesn't sound natural. Sneako, I think, is just going through a constant identity crisis in a time where there's too many identities for him to choose from. You know what I mean? Like, you know how kids are experimenting with themselves? They're like, oh, they're experimenting with their gender and they're experimenting with their identity. You know, I was a big metalhead. That was my identity. That's Sneako's doing. He's red pill. It doesn't really mean anything to him other than like it's a community of people he gets to hang out with. I mean, I swear to God, this guy could have came across like a fucking inspirational Taylor Swift video, and he would have been a fucking Swiftie. Like he's just looking for something. I think that's it. Oh, I'm fucked. So
I am not moving into an Islamic.
Destiny, I see that you're meaning as a
you
hating
people want me to move
Is
into
this
a
you getting
mosque.
into presidential election?
You want me
form?
to sleep in the mosque
What triggered
now?
this change?
What?
G7.
And it's like he's grifting. I'm not grifting. I just want to have a f***ing home.
Bro, where's the transformative content, Destiny? He hasn't paused the video once, which, by the way, works beautifully for me, because I don't have to give a fuck. But
I don't want to live in a mosque. Get off of my dick.
Jesus.
Holy fuck.
Wait, so where is he at now? I don't even, he's gone through like 3
I'm
different
gonna
arcs
ask
in like
you,
2
you
weeks.
betrayed us. Get a life, bro. Get a life. I'm done. I don't want to be in this. I thought we were on the same page. And that's what I realized.
I think he's just rambling until people say that what he's doing is okay. I mean, he's looking for... I mean, this is the thing. Announcing your movements is the most beta male thing that you could ever do. You know? People who are constantly announcing A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, they're insecure. You know, again, like when I did the whole content shift and I shifted to a different platform or whatever, or a different channel, you didn't see me make the end of Papa Gut's career, the end of this. I was just like, you know what? I want to do this and I want to change. I want to change this and I want to be on here now instead. And that was it. I didn't go, I'm leaving this community. I'm going to do this, constantly performing because I'm looking for attention. I'm looking for validation. And that's what he's doing. He's announcing all of his moves. He's not even sticking to them, which is going to burn through his audience. He's losing credibility. Whether he has viewership or not, he loses like social credibility, which I think is incredibly important. It's just as important. Well, it's up there in the importance level with money, especially if you have a lot of money. He's just fucking around. He's just being a big old stinky poo-poo head. You know, he's not helping himself. That's for sure. That's for sure. The hell's this guy doing?
On my core audience, like the people that come here all the time. If you look at the comments with the video, I did a video with Neon and Jason Love, right? We just got dinner, making jokes, stuff like that. I was asking if he repents. I was asking about if he thinks porn is bad for society.
Hey, what's
I'm
up?
talking about, you know, his religion, stuff like that. I'm talking about everything that you guys always obsess over about to just, you know, make my community happy, right? The comments on Neon's VOD on his YouTube channel compared to my comments on my Rumble channel, the difference is just insane. My Rumble comments, all that's like, Sneako's hanging out with these, Sneako betrayed us. Why is he eating dinner with these people?
I mean, that's the audience you decided you wanted, a bunch of toxic idiots. I mean, what kind of audience did you think you're going to have when you want to have TikTok babies? I mean, you're basically trying to appeal to kids. Oh, I want to get all these followers from TikTok based off of me just being racist or homophobic and transphobe mostly. Who do you think likes that? Little boys. I know that because I know what little boys like. No, because I was a boy. I know how like little boys are assholes. They're just fucking pieces of shit. You know what I mean? So like that's the audience you asked for. Of course your audience is going to be a fucking toxic. They don't even understand themselves. They don't even know how to pull their foreskin back and clean their fucking dicks the right way. You think that they know how to have a fucking coherent thought about like any topic you're talking about? That's what it comes down to, all right? So
be yelling at whores with Myron right now. Talk to and then Neon's comments. Love you so much, Neon.
Yeah, no shit. You built the last like 6 months of your content being the most judgmental, shallow
6
retard
months
in the world. No
whoa!
shit.
Hey! Stop it!
You have that Quran that you never fucking read next to you. You flash around every 2 seconds, and you're bamboozled that you built an audience full of like moral indignation and moral condemnation. That's the most obvious thing ever.
Keep going. Yeah, this was so funny. Great video. You're evolving every day. If I just let like the Rumble audience, you people dictate everything that I do, it would just, bro, I would go insane. I would go insane.
I love it. I think that I honestly, after hearing him complain, he's crying about his audience now. After hearing him cry about his audience, I think that a big part of this is that he wants to move on to different content because he's tired of how judgmental people are towards him, which is so funny because like his ultimate downfall is going to be how much he hates the people that he's attracted. And I think that's so funny. I think it's just like a funny thing. It's like it's poetic, really. That's who he's. I hate these. I just hate all these people. That's who you wanted to be. You know, it's the same thing when I used to make like when I had like a heavy stint making like drama content when I was doing like fucking like the Trisha Paytas arc. You know, I never did that to forcefully appeal to an audience, but you realize how fucking obnoxious some of these people are. Like that's what it comes down to. You know, you want to make sure that you don't just want an audience. You want the right audience. You don't want some virtue signaling asshole audience that's going to criticize you anytime you have a fucking any opinion. They like to the point where they're not even going to engage with it. It's not. I don't have no problem with disagreements, but you could tell when people aren't even engaging with what you're saying. They're just like, oh, I don't think this is level. They won't be like, I see where you're coming from. I disagree. They'll just like shit them come their pants because they're so feelings based. It's like fucking obnoxious.
All NPCs on Kick, bro. Like,
Good tweet.
I understand that you might know the truth. Rumble people, you might know the truth about the world, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean you're better than other people because you believe in God and you think that OnlyFans girls are demons, right? That doesn't make you better than other people who are enjoying life.
Oh. This is what I mean when I said before that like he just wants to collect the clout from being Muslim without actually like being Muslim. He's basically just doing exactly what I said, right?
Damn, Destiny, you're
TikTok
so right.
Republican calling you out.
Damn, Destiny, you're so right, Destiny. You're such a right guy.
The left gets wrong on science.
You know, it's interesting. I'm going to talk about this with my wife on our podcast, Rob and Dan podcast, for those interested next time. But to this whole thing where I was just like trolling about, you're so right, Destiny. It's Pearl. There's a clip of Pearl. We're gonna talk about it. It's a short one where she's like, "Oh, how come there's no like female Elon Musks and Bill Gates?" And by the way, Elon Musk is a fucking sham. He's bought all of his businesses with his daddy's money. He doesn't deserve anything. And then I started thinking like, why isn't there? Because the highest IQ in the world is a woman. That's just a fact. I don't even like that fact because I was like, damn, men are supposed to be the best at everything. Thank God we're still the best at violence. But I had this theory that the reason why there's more well-known men is because men just want to be more well-known. If I was smart, I'd want everybody to say I was so fucking smart. You know what I mean? It's like when I like it when my wife says I'm so handsome. You know, I just want you to just. I don't know if women have the similar ego to that. So, you know, that's why people make predictions. That's why I'm making predictions. I think this is going to happen. I think such and such is going to do this. And then I'm like, look at me. I was right. What does that mean? Nothing. I just get to feel good about myself. It doesn't mean anything. I just get to feel like, I did a thing. Oh, look at me. I'm a smart guy. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. So.
It's denialism or whatever, I'm sure, but it is not even.
You mean like biology? It's so funny how you could just minimize the Democrats' science denialism.
What is this?
He's basically just doing exactly what I said, right?
You're still right.
TikTok Republican calling you out.
Some things that the left gets wrong on science denialism or whatever, I'm sure, but it is not even.
You mean like biology? It's so funny how you could just minimize the Democrats' science denialism by saying, well, there's some things that they get wrong.
You mean biology? You mean trans people? Bro, I don't know what to tell you, but like there is a robust mental health science that that justifies trans people. I don't know what to tell you. My thing that I find so interesting, because I'm really trying to formulate an argument against religious people for why trans people exist. And I'm trying to do it in a way that doesn't insult them, because I know I'm trying not to be a bad guy. And so I came up with this, like, this is my current, I think, best argument to a conservative religious person as to why trans people are valid. And here it is. It is that God is an unprovable internal experience. And I think that is a beautiful thing and a valid thing for you to experience, but there's no proof that he exists. And that's the same as somebody that has gender dysphoria. It is an internal feeling that you cannot prove to anybody that makes you feel valid and euphoric in different ways. And I think that you can never prove it, but since there's so many people with that experience, and that experience isn't a bad thing to have, it's not hurting anybody, why is it so far-fetched? There's probably more proof, really, that trans people exist than there is that God exists. So how can you be like, no, religion is real, it's factual, it has to exist on the one hand, but then on the other hand, like, based on what? You know what I mean? You have no real logic for it. And that's fine. It's a feeling. But then why dismiss that feeling because, gay people have it, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to let you know this, but Republicans not believing in evolution has literally no impact on our society.
What did he say?
Things that they get wrong. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to let you know this, but Republicans not believing in evolution has literally no impact on our society.
Oh, evolution? Oh, then you're just a fucking idiot. I thought you were talking about goddamn trans people. Evolution? What are you, fucking dumb? Evolution's a fact. This is my understanding. The theory of how we evolve, That's the theory part. But the fact that we have evolved is the fact part. Like the theory of evolution isn't like the theory that, oh, did we evolve? It's the theory of how we evolve. Is it you throw shit at a wall and see what sticks? Are we slowly evolving to adapt to our particular environments over time? You know what I mean? Like that, there's different, that's the theory. What is this guy yapping about?
There's no protest in the streets to remove evolution from schools. They're not protesting outside of schools. There's no push.
Were they not? Am I wrong? I feel like I remember this growing up as kids, that Republicans would protest on certain types of curriculums in schools relating to like evolution and stuff. But it's been a long time for that.
Push for some anti-evolution theories to be taught in schools. None of it. Okay, but when you deny biology, right? Underage children are getting double mastectomies because of it. They're getting hormone treatments because of it. They're going through all these therapies for it, and we know that eventually it's going to lead to full-blown sex changes because of it.
I guess you're saying it with some stank on it. I mean, yeah, there's people with gender dysphoria that are young. Every adult trans person says I had gender dysphoria when I was a kid, and that's just the way it is. And so now we're like, okay, let's catch it then, because we're trying to have right now all the data shows that we're having better mental health outcomes. If you have an issue with kids getting double mastectomies, make it illegal for kids to get breast implants because this is the reality. It's legal for like 16-year-olds in some states to get fucking breast implants. That's my understanding. And I believe that there was a state where like Republicans shut it down. Somebody was like, let's make that illegal. And they're like, no, it's okay. So if you think that a kid without gender dysphoria should be able to get fucking their titties increased, I think maybe it should be okay to get top surgery. I think it's personally, I am uncomfortable with the idea, but I'm also understand that I am limited in my ability to navigate everything, and that there are mental health professionals that are engaging with this, the data and the studies and the research, and that this is the best way to operate from a mental health capacity. So, I mean, like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm not a fucking expert at everything. I can't even be good at the games I play on my fucking stream. You think I'm gonna sit here and pass judgment on the exact way that we should be engaging when it comes to the mental health of a child with gender dysphoria? And by the way, they're teenagers, right? Like, I understand that they're minors, but like, let's stop using the word child. Let's start using the age of development. These are teenagers. So, teenagers are different. When I was 15, I was 6'2", and I was like 280 pounds.
Super chatted $1.99.
Hey!
Evolution literally is supported in the Bible.
Very true. There's so many different evolutions of the goddamn Bible, we don't even know which one's real anymore. But like, we're talking about, and you're still a minor, you're still young, you still haven't come into your own, but let's keep it in mind that, like, you are a teenager. When you say child, when this is, it's the way that we appeal to words. When you say child, it's the same as saying minor. You're trying to appeal to such a broad spectrum that's so open to interpretation. Right? And what's happening here is we have this. You say minor. How old's a minor? Could be 1. Could be literally just birthed. Could also be 17 and fucking 364 days. People use that very vague language intentionally to try to trigger people into being like, oh, we're doing it on babies. It's like, no, like, we're not doing it on babies, we're doing it on teenagers. And again, personally, I think that we should probably only keep it to hormones. I'm even uncomfortable with that, but I get it, because I understand that, like, having a kid with gender dysphoria go through the puberty that doesn't align with their gender identity, that could be severely distressing to them if they have gender dysphoria. Not a big fan of the surgeries, but I mean, again, keep it consistent with the fucking, if you can get breast implants as a kid, as a teenager, then, why not? So, I'm trying to see which state.
So the impact of denying biology far outweighs the impact of denying evolution. Ultimately, it means that...
First of all, evolution is just... First of all, denying evolution probably sets you up to believe in a whole bunch of other stupid conspiracies. If you're denying evolution, you're denying wide ranges of science. You're probably susceptible to a whole bunch of other science denialism, number one. Number two, for the trans stuff, that's not as simple as saying that people that are pro-trans children are denying biology. It's a bit more complicated than that, and there are legitimate arguments on both sides. There are no legitimate arguments on both sides of evolution. I don't even know why you would equate these two.
The real science deniers are the Democratic Party.
I'm trying to look into like that. What I was talking about with the getting breast implants with young, because I'm looking at it and it seems like there's FDA guidelines that are 18. So I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, unless it's breast reductions. Hold on. I have to look into this. I can't be wrong.
Their science denying actually has an impact on our society.
Yeah, good one, Chief. Yeah, I mean, we're all fucking melting. And everybody's moving out of Phoenix and fucking Southern Florida and everything because it's too fucking hot.
Okay, yeah, it's breast reductions. You can get a breast reduction at 16. But it's not for gender dysphoria. So I think if you can get a breast reduction for whatever reason, at 16, why wouldn't you be able to get like you know what I mean? And again, I think you should wait till 18, but like why not set the standard?
I wonder what the Republican cope is going to be on that one. Even populists like Vivek now, even Vivek acknowledges that climate change exists and it's largely driven anthropomorphic. I don't know the fucking word. What is the word I'm looking for? Oh, God, my head. Anthropomorphic. I can't believe I got this word right. Anthropomorphic climate change. Even Vivek says that it's probably mainly driven by humans.
Sure, yeah. In my goddamn Hummer, I'm driving it up. Sometimes I just get in my car and turn it on and just leave it in park and hit the gas. You know, why? Because my thought is, who cares about? I'm going to be dead. I'm unhealthy. I'm going to die anyway. Why do I care? Why do I care if you live or die? The future generations, I won't be there. Why would I care? Idiot, you know?
I thought Vivek called it a hoax.
Roaster hit Squad W.
No, he said the climate change agenda is a hoax, which is a stupid point to quibble on. But even he, in prior interviews, has said that climate change is probably real and probably is caused by humans, but that we can't just get rid of fossil fuels. People don't know the difference between red flags and bad things. Talking about anything related to relationships or consent or creepy behavior with red pills is a total fucking waste of time. But let's go.
Oh, wait, okay. So there's no minimum age for having breast augmentation, but many surgeons do not offer the procedure for women under 18. In certain cases, minors may undergo breast augmentation to correct abnormalities related to birth defect or trauma, but patients under 18 must have parental consent. Okay, so you can get it. It's just like a particular guideline. Okay. Gotcha.
When there's a huge age gap, when it's clearly known as English second language, and when you're like trying to isolate somebody.
Destiny, do you understand how hypocritical it is?
First of all,
when there's a huge age gap, when it's clearly known as English second language, and when you're like trying to isolate somebody.
Destiny, do you understand?
I like the 3-second clip from my initial thing and your dog shit 2-minute video. Good one. The older millennial period 1. Nice 3-second clip. I'm sure we got the gist of what I was saying.
Well, that probably means that they were banned.
Which was, by the way, this other girl.
But he might have stitched it. So that's how TikTok works. You press the stitch, you watch that one first. Nobody does it.
Girl's relationship was a guy that took her from another country who I believe was in his 50s, I think, when she was 18.
Wow.
Which, kind of weird, but in and of itself might not necessarily be horrible. But the huge red flags were, I believe he said that she wasn't allowed to have any friends or leave the house. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was from that episode. She wasn't allowed to have friends and she wasn't allowed to leave the house. Those are a way bigger deal than the age gap. Oh, the age gap in and of itself is already like kind of weird, but...
Well, 50 and like 20 or 18, that's a huge red flag. But absolutely not letting you have friends. I mean, that's just trying to isolate you. That's definitely a huge control issue.
Remember, age gaps are only red flags. They're not necessarily bad things. They can be bad things. But yeah, we can go back and watch that episode if somebody wants to find it.
Understand how hypocritical it is for you to be talking about this? For you to be talking about how older men dating younger women is all about manipulation?
I've never in my life said that older men dating younger women...
I think I saw this clip on TikTok, actually.
...is manipulation. First of all, the average age skews a little bit higher for men anyway. I think it's on average they're about 2 years older. Now, obviously, you can go bigger depending on the relationship, but no, an older person dating a younger person is not necessarily manipulative or bad. It's just an indication that something might be wrong. That's why it's called a red flag. Oh, you can't see what I'm watching? Fuck these dumb fucks. Here you go.
How do you spell millennial?
Men dating younger women is all about manipulation.
The older millennial won. I want to see if I can find that like raw video that he made. Let's see if I can find the Destiny one. Stop it. I don't want to play the game anymore. The older millennial won. Okay, here we go. Here's the main clip. I want to watch the main clip now.
Do you think her boyfriend was manipulating her because she's 21 and he's almost 50?
When there's a huge age gap, when it's clearly, no offense, English second language, and when you're like trying to isolate somebody, like all the things are pointing towards that. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, no, that's him making multiple arguments. It's like the big age gap. Let me just listen to it again. I'm fucking dumb, but
One and he's almost 50.
When there's a huge age gap, when it's clearly, no offense, English second language.
Yeah, huge age gap. English second language just makes it difficult to communicate. So, like, if you're pulled from a country where you don't speak English very well, or that's not the main language, and you come to like an English-speaking country, it's difficult for you to communicate with people around there. So that,
and when you're like trying to isolate somebody,
and isolating somebody by not letting them have friends or family or anything, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, like, it's multiple factors there. Okay.
Dude, you have a 10-year age gap between.
All right, let me just finish the video.
like all the things are pointing towards that. Yeah, of course.
But wouldn't it be fair to say that she picked him?
Yeah,
and
sure.
she loved him,
but
and
I mean,
he
like,
actually
you
broke up
can,
with her, so therefore she liked
I mean,
him.
I don't understand. Hold on. These arguments of like she picked him. That's why it's called manipulation and not like abduction. Right? Of course, right? Like you rely to some extent on like a younger person being manipulatable so that they can.
I mean,
quote
if
unquote,
we're going to
choose
go
things,
into the manipulation argument, we can argue that women wear makeup and they're manipulated because the woman
but
doesn't
men know that
necessarily-
women wear makeup.
and that women know that men are going to have riz.
Not
and they're
a
gonna run in.
21-year-old woman
true.
doesn't know what a 49-year-old man knows, right? That guy's
Don't women have agency and autonomy on their own actions, and aren't they sentient adults?
It's not about being a woman. It's about being a 21-year-old, like like a 49-year-old, and then
dodging his
if the
question.
roles
You're
were reversed.
dodging. He said, "Isn't an adult capable of making decisions for themselves?" Yeah.
What's the narrative spell where there's like 2 Myrons right now? I thought he was asking the question.
Okay, so
right?
you're making it about women.
I'm not making it about women. I'm making it about a 49-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Yes or no? Is an adult capable of making decisions for themselves?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Right, well, okay, so when is an adult not capable of making decisions?
When they're being manipulated by somebody 30 years their senior.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
So yeah, there's a 49. Even if it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I could see why the communication on this topic is like a little weird because it comes off as like, oh, 20-year-olds don't have agency over themselves in some capacity. I get that, but I understand the overall point. I think it just could have been argued better. You know, not that I could argue it better. I'm not saying I could. But the overall, argument is more like, hey, there's multiple different factors where this girl basically got kind of pulled to this country away from like friends and family and all these different things, and they were being manipulated by somebody who's older, has more life experience, probably more intelligent. She has the agency and the ability to make those decisions, but it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily manipulative, and it's also not illegal to manipulate people. Right, so not that I'm not saying it's a good thing to do it, but like not everything becomes illegal. You can say like, yeah, this is a manipulative piece of shit without saying that they should actually be like arrested or anything. Thank you so much, Jado Dog, for the small gut. But okay, yeah, sure. I don't know how this is relevant to Sneako, but
Your girlfriend.
I'm sure she's my wife, but nice, true.
Not like a, I'm 40, she's 30 kind of age gap. You met her when you were a 30-year-old man and she was 20.
True.
When you started dating
he
her, you were a
groomed her!
30-year-old man who would have had to sneak her into a bar.
He groomed her! Oh, fuck! Damn. Destiny, fucking piece of shit. I can't believe you would do that to some poor child. Damn.
Or illegal.
First of all, I don't know why I would have to sneak her into a bar, because number one,
I'll be real with you, dog. I was drinking at like fucking 12, 14 years old. I'm not saying it was good, but my mom's perspective was like, you know what? I'm going to have him do it around family. This way I can have control over it a little better. And I would drink. And for me, it was only beers, nothing hard. You know what I mean? I wasn't drinking cum. And it was under, it was with my family. You know what I mean? And it made me, I don't like alcohol now. So I'm just saying, like, you'd have to sneak her into a bar. I mean, you don't have to go to a bar. I don't know, that's a hot take. But I also don't think a 20-year-old drinking is like the most morally reprehensible fucking thing in the entire world. I'm not gonna die. Oh my God, you're fucking drinking at 20, you fucking predator. It's like, no, it's just kind of it's just like, you shouldn't do that, but I also don't care. So.
I'm pretty sure most countries in the world, the drinking age is 18 or 16. Number two, I don't know why you would assume I would sneak her into a bar. Number three, alcohol isn't even on my top list of like drugs I do all the time.
Yeah,
but,
dude.
Okay.
Legally buy her alcohol. Oh, and you want to talk about manipulation?
Oh,
like, what other weird thing you're gonna say? Like, wow, you would have to illegally sign for her to have a rental car. Yeah, sure. Okay.
This sounds like manipulation. You were a pretty popular streamer at the time. You were single and living in the U.S. Fan of yours from New Zealand invited you to come out and hang out with them. And this is where you...
Well, I will say one thing. I think, I could be so wrong. I think New Zealand speaks English, though. Am I wrong about that? Because that was one of the factors. Also, I don't think Destiny's not letting her have friends. In fact, he lets her fuck her friends, dude. That's crazy. If anything, he's doing too much. He's let her fuck her friends. So you can't really make the argument that he's like putting her in this isolated situation. If anybody, let's be absolutely honest here. Okay, if anybody's getting taken advantage of in this situation between Destiny and Melina, it's probably Destiny. And now I'm not saying anybody is getting taken advantage of. That's my point. But we have like this terminally online brain where we're like, oh my god, anytime a rich person, usually a man, interacts with somebody who's not rich, usually a woman, like it can be abusive and predatory. They have this power dynamic. I mean, what about the power dynamic of the dude who, like, you know, that girl could just be like, I'm doing this for some fun muns. Mun is money. I made that up. I'm not saying she's doing that at all. I'm just saying, like, she has the ability to speak, go out, have friends, dance with black men. By the way, #1 priority on my list. Like, how is she being, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a little different. A little different.
That is not true. Melina was the one that invited me to come and hang out, not a random...
Plus, Destiny is an online League of Legends player. Like, he has the mental capacity of, like, a 9-year-old. I mean, we're talking about people who can't help but say racist things when they're losing their lane. You know what I mean? Destiny also reminds me of your average top player. You know what I mean? Most toxic in the entire game. Or maybe he's like an ADC that just blames his support for everything. Like, typical, am I right?
Fan of New Zealand and not her boyfriend. So that part is not true. I love how people always get bits and pieces of my life, but they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about.
He met his 20-year-old girlfriend, Melina. Oh, and the best
I literally went there to go and meet Melina. She was the one that reached out to me.
part is everything that happens after that, we all know exactly what happened because you streamed it live. Or more specifically, you let your fan act like he was in charge of your...
Well, if that's true, though, isn't that a good thing, though? Like, oh, you streamed it live. Like, but you're trying to say that, like, nothing was transparent. Like, you're trying to make it a comparable scenario. It sounds like it was pretty transparent, dude. It's crazy. It's more of a transparent than Caitlyn Jenner. I could get my own show. I could get my own show, huh?
Your stream. So
I've never let my fan act like they're in charge of my stream.
He would be distracted with taking care of the stream while you were completely all over his absolutely shit-faced drunk girlfriend.
It wasn't just his girlfriend. She was already polyamorous at the time. She was dating him, and she literally had a fiance in New Zealand already that was not him.
Riz, am I right?
Here's a picture from that stream. She's 20. By the way, the drinking age in New Zealand is 21. Do you...
I'm gonna go. Who cares?
No, it's not. Do we just...
Damn. Even if it was, who cares? But it's 8. This guy got like a very basic. And listen, I can't go too hard on this guy because people don't know this. This is one of the reasons I'm thankful for being banned on TikTok. I remember when I was on TikTok and I saw a Destiny clip and I like misinterpreted. I said some dumbass shit. And I was on the first time I talked to him on stream. You shouldn't go look it up on his channel or my channel. I said he was like, somebody was like, oh, there's this clip here, and I said, just let's forget about it. I think he watched it. I left eventually. I don't know if I left then. Pretended it didn't exist. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get lost in the sauce. But
is it we just don't do any research at all for videos? Do we just say random shit, or
that's what I do?
We're a 30-year-old man who came to New Zealand and got an underage girl absolutely hammered drunk. And then
underage
I'm not getting it. First of all, these guys wanted to take me drink.
She wouldn't be an underage girl. She would be a girl who was under the legal drinking age. But you see how, like, you say underage, like all these words, like the plausible deniability is she's under the drinking age, which she's not. But like what you feel from that is, oh, she's a child. She's a minor, right? It's the same thing as people who say, like, liberals who are like, I support reparations. You know, and I know it sounds weird, but they'll be like, I support reparations. And you know what people hear when they hear reparations? What they hear is that you support black people getting money for free. And they probably deserve it, but you want to know what? I'm not really about that. But you want to know what they'll say? Because I think we need to do it poor people, not just black people. You know, I don't think that Jada Smith needs fucking reparations. But you want to know what the fuck they'll say when they push them on them? You push them on them, they'll go, or you push them on it. They'll say, no, I just mean that we should attack the institutions that disproportionately negatively impact black people. Is that a form of reparation? Sure. But it's this type of like emotional evocation. You're trying to make them feel like, oh, you're trying to make them feel like that you support them finally getting, you know, their 40 acres. But you don't. You're just using like this kind of like, I feel like it's emotionally manipulative language to try to inspire something in somebody that you don't mean. It's like you speak to somebody through their life experience. It's that type of language, because you could say one thing to somebody, so you could say one thing and 10 different people can interpret it differently. You know?
Drinking. Okay, but so nice. Number one. Number two, it wasn't illegal. She's not underage.
And you couldn't keep your fucking hands off her the whole time. Then after a whole day of getting them absolutely drunk, you allowed him to take over your stream. You allowed him to take over your stream so you could go in his bedroom and fuck his girlfriend.
First of all, we'd already been fucking. Secondly, it wasn't his bedroom. We were in a hotel. Thirdly, we did not fuck on stream that night. Why the fuck would I do with my stream on? I've been streaming for 13 fucking years, and I have never in my life made a mistake like that. Why the fuck would this be the first time of all the times that this has ever happened?
And he was just so happy to have so many people commenting on the stream he was in charge of. He just sat there while you did it. And then you want to talk about how it's real manipulating to isolate a girl from all her friends and family? How about when you took Melina from New Zealand to the US? You isolated her from everyone she's ever known.
Wait, so he knows the arguments. He's just playing dumb. He didn't what? Okay.
You isolated her from every member of her family.
Kind of.
There's a difference. It's the intentional difference, right? This other guy, it seems to be that this situation, he was much older. English, she didn't understand the native language of the country. Than this other girl, and he wouldn't allow her to have friends or family be around. There's a difference between that. Like, for instance, my wife has a best friend who lives in England. She married an English guy. Fucking why? Idiot. She decided to go over there and isolate herself from her friends and her family. You know, is that his fault? No, she made the conscious decision to do that, of course. But he didn't say your friends and family can't be around you. They can't live here. They can't do these things. That's just where he lived. And she went over there. There's a difference between moving versus being told that you can't have friends and family and you can't make new friends and family. This is silly goosery.
True, she is isolated in the U.S., but she can always go back to Sweden. It's not like I forced her to stay in the U.S. If she wanted to go back, she could. In fact, she did multiple times. She could only stay in the U.S. for, I think it's 90-day stretches at a time because that's how the visa waiver, God, my brain is dying. What's the name of the visa waiver application in the United States? I don't even know right now. My brain's leaking out of my head. Bro, they asked the visa waiver shit. She couldn't even stay here for more than 3 months at a time.
So who paid for that, you think? Probably Destiny. Huh? Who's getting taken advantage of, huh?
So none of this even makes sense. No, she was not locked here the entire fucking time.
How about when you took Melina from New Zealand to the US?
Also took her from New Zealand. She's not even from New Zealand. She's from Sweden.
Oh, shit. That's where they make meatballs.
You isolated her from everyone she's ever known. You isolated her.
I didn't give these guys the time of day.
She was already isolated. Like, she was already in New Zealand. She'd already gone there with another guy and then was engaged to another guy. I didn't take her from anywhere. She was already in New Zealand.
Bro, she's basically, she's doing what I'm going to do when I go to Epcot. She's just drinking around the world. But she said it. I was going to say, instead of drinking alcohol, she's drinking cum. But that seems disrespectful to say that. So I'm not going to... I said it already, but I said it in a way where it was just educational. So it was okay that I said that. You know what I mean? That's my take.
Isolated from her friends and family. Because her friends and family all live in Sweden.
I can't wait to go to fucking Disney, bro.
Member of her family. You took her to the other side of the planet and made her completely reliant on you. A 30-year-old man took a 20-year...
You know what's really sad, though? My wife says, like, oh, I want to go to Japan. She said that to me once. And I said, oh, like Disney Japan? Not Disney Japan, but, like, the Disney portion of Epcot. I was like, my response was like, yeah, I'll take you to Epcot again. And she's like, no, I mean, like, the actual place. I was like, oh. You know, that's how fucking terminal my brain is. That's how crazy my fucking brain is, dude. I'm so Disney brained.
Year-old girl to the other side of the world, and you were all she knew. Now, you obviously weren't too good at manipulating her long-term because now...
Did you check the geography of the world? Like, is it actually the other side? Because technically, I'm pretty sure that it's not. Okay? Fucking
that's like
dick.
30 boyfriends.
She already was dating a guy, had a fiance. Might have been dating another guy. I don't even know. I know she had at least two.
Jesus.
Our relationship was open literally from the very fucking start.
I heard that she was hitting on Sneako once. Some guy told me that.
Reason I was willing to try a relationship with her. It's like this guy's like a collection of like random tidbits.
Dude, you were literally doing some passport bro shit.
Oh, fuck, dude. He's getting him.
Bro shit
get him.
The admission is one, you can't get a Western woman. All of my prior girlfriends, and 99% of the women I hook up are Western women. Number one.
Isn't she still technically a Western woman, though? Isn't New Zealand, like, Western? I don't know where it is. I don't really know. I don't know what the only cum piss I know is when I'm fucking my wife and I piss on her. I'm fucking inting so hard. Holy shit. But isn't that like a Western country with like Western values?
Number two, the goal is to find somebody that you can exert great financial pressure over, okay? Which I guess you can argue no, I'm not even going to grant you that. Grabbing somebody from a poor country is different than and I understand these guys don't know because a lot of these guys have never left the U.S. This guy looks like the farthest he's probably gone is from Nebraska.
I don't want to leave the U.S. I don't want to be on a plane for fucking however many hours. It's too much.
To Kentucky to go and fuck a cousin that lives out of state.
Bro, what? That's insane. Why wouldn't I just fuck my cousin that lived in the same state as me?
Right? You can't abduct people generally from like France, Sweden, Germany, Italy, because these are like first world Western countries. They're not like in financial destitution where they're looking to a white person. Like if I go to France, I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm American. People are going to be like, okay, I guess that's cool. Right?
You go to France and you say that, they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. People in France are very rude. Okay? Very rude. That's all I'm saying.
It's a lot different than when you're in South America or when you're in Eastern Europe, and some people look at you like, you're American? How fucking loaded are you, chief? Right? It's a way different vibe. But also, on top of all that, it's not even necessarily bad to pick up a girlfriend from one of these countries. Yeah. It's just when your goal is to explicitly...
You just gotta collect all the different white girls from the Western countries, racist Destiny.
We find women from these countries who are dramatically younger than you, who live in financial destitute. When you're explicitly trying to do that, that's really fucking creepy. If you think I'm doing that, then fine, knock yourself out. But you're just wrong or retarded. I have no history of it.
Please.
Me and Melina's biggest fights generally stem from our fucking age gap. Like, it's not like I'm out here looking for 20-year-olds. Jesus.
Except instead of manipulating poor women with an American...
So there are no poor people in those countries who want celebrity status and money? I'm sure you can find some of them. I'm sure they're out there.
Passport? You manipulated a 20-year-old girl.
Well, I think the point is that a lot of these red pill guys are looking for women that they have financial superiority over, whereas I think Destiny was just looking for some poo nanny. And she happened to not make as much money as him, but she probably was fine, you know what I mean? The thing is that I think that there's a difference between finding somebody... being with somebody that makes more money than you versus being with somebody that... I don't know how I can express this. It's such a dumb... It's not even like that kind of a take. There's a difference between finding somebody or being with somebody that makes more money than you versus being with somebody who makes a lot more money than you when you make like no money. Like my wife, for instance. I mean, I make my own money, whatever. I make more money than her. But she makes enough money to survive by herself. She has enough options. You know, she has enough money to make for the options to survive, right? And so, like, if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily have that from like a poorer country, and you know, you basically got your American dream, the handsome American guy, probably not that handsome American guy, but the handsome American guy is gonna come and whisk you away. I mean, fairy tales don't exist. That guy's probably a fucking weirdo. Why not? Why do you need to go that far? So to me, it's just weird that people would go to other countries in the first place. The passport bro bullshit is fucking super cringe. Dude, shut up. This guy's pinging me. Okay, I'm dying. Oh, fuck my mom.
With underage drinking and a chance of fame.
Nice, underage drinking. Nice, chance of fame. For the first year we were together, I don't even think she streamed. I don't even think she wanted to stream. I still don't even know if she wants to stream.
That's not even passport, bro. That's like Harvey Weinstein type of shit.
And oh, fuck.
There should be a conversation about people in relationships manipulating each other. And maybe there should be a long talk about older men being able to manipulate younger women. There is no way that you should be involved in that conversation. Everything you advocate against, you did. And the best part is you can't deny any of it because the live stream still exists online. You can all go watch you get an underage girl drunk and fuck her later that night.
Underage girl.
How time we were already fucking. I don't need to get people drunk to fuck them, bro. Well, again, unlike you, who's probably getting his fucking cousin or sister wasted, okay, so that she'll play the let's look at each other's cars game, right? Jesus.
Hey, why go across the street when you can go across the hall?
That you stream that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Any conversations with red pillars relating to relationships or anything related to this is entirely a waste of time. Jesus.
All right, based. I thought that was gonna be exclusive about Sneako. It wasn't, but you know, we still went along for the ride, and it's more content to put up on my channel. It's an hour instead of like 20 minutes, and you gotta love it. You gotta love having a nice long segment. I get to go, oh, it's a Sneako segment, and then pop that random dumb irrelevant bullshit in there. It's beautiful stuff.